What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I have a super cool video for you guys today. Something that a lot of you probably have not seen before, or at least executed on, and we're going to talk about it. We are here in Keepa Product Finder, and you've probably heard me talk about a lot in terms of reverse sourcing and how valuable that is for a new seller, right? It allows you to really disqualify products quickly, say no to a lot of products to get to that next yes, right? The benefit is with reverse sourcing, if you find the right places to reverse source from, if you find the right storefronts, if you find the right products, right, you can make those split-second decisions really quickly, as opposed to sourcing from a site like Nike or Adidas or Under Armour, where you don't have the same information privy to you, right? If I'm looking on a site, for example, on Nike.com, I don't have the sales rank, the competition, the buy box, the trending, any sort of market analysis information. I don't have information on that at my disposal to make that quick decision. Every single product I look at Nike.com, I always have to make that connection back to Amazon. However, when I am on Amazon and reverse sourcing from a storefront, for example, that I know is interesting, maybe I found that storefront through an adjacency like a competitive seller that shares a profitable product that I'm already on. Well, it's easy to disqualify the 100, 150, 200 products in that storefront by just simply sifting through, skipping over the ones where the market's tanking, or the velocity isn't where I want it to be, or maybe the price point's not where I want it to be. Those sorts of really quick disqualifying decisions. And in today's video, I'm actually going to show you a way to supercharge that reverse sourcing, right? And so you've probably seen me talk hours and hours and show lots of videos of this product finder tab, right? It has all sorts of filters we can use, and rightfully so. It's super important. It's very valuable as a tool. However, what I'm going to kind of point you to is this top seller list. If I click on it, it's going to give me a breakdown of all the different, now in this default view, in this very generic view, it's not very helpful, right? Because in its current state, it shows essentially the top 1,000 sellers across the entire marketplace, across all sorts of different categories, brands, etc. Not very interesting, especially for us, right? Maybe you are someone that sells a lot of clothing. Awesome. We can dig into that. You'll notice anything in Keepa is always going to be like customizable with filters, right? And this page is no different. So I can actually come in here, sift on maybe a category, or maybe for example, most of your catalog is Nike. Awesome, right? We can sift and say, okay, I want to only pull up sellers that sell Nike as their main brand. Now, well, if you expand the search a bit, so we'll drop it down to 5,000 and do our brand again and see if we get better results. No, we'll do 10,000. We'll do 50,000. It may take a bit to load. But what you'll find and what the goal is right, we want to sort and we want to really just kind of consolidate a whole ton of information of a particular characteristic, and we finally achieve what we want. So we have right here, we have 105 sellers, all with Nike as their dominant brand. Right, we can see their category that they sell primarily. We can see the verified listings. We can see a whole lot of information here, right? Some of it's useful, some of it's not. The main key is we're sorting from and we're sourcing from sellers that have the Nike brand dominance, which is what we want, right? Because we want to, again, be able to really consume and digest a whole lot of information very quickly. And so when we're talking about looking into sellers that are interesting, this is something that would be interesting for someone that sources a lot of Nike and sells a lot of Nike. And the really, really cool thing about it is we already know Nike is not really a wholesalable brand. We know anyone that's buying Nike is probably acquiring those products from similar sites. Maybe it's Nike.com on a sale. Maybe it's Dick's Sporting Goods, right? Whatever the case may be. We can probably find the same sorts of products at similar prices. Maybe they're using a coupon code or a discount code or a gift card that we don't necessarily know about yet, but we can start to dig into that and slice and dice that information, right? But when we start to kind of click into some of these stores, we can understand how big of a seller they are, right? We can see the verified listings that they have. We can see the reviews. We can see all this sort of information, right? So we can click into this right here, and we can see their storefront consists of 88% Nike, which obviously is a significant portion of their store. And now we're in here, and look, we see, of course, a lot of Nike shoes. And so obviously, if I'm a Nike seller that sells a lot of shoes, I'm in business. And the really cool thing is, as I start to hover over these listings, all I'm doing is making those really quick disqualifying decisions, those really quick split-second decisions. So for this first shoe, for example, I see it's pretty consistent. I see the buy box is trending at about 100, maybe drops down to 90, but really about 100. And so, if I have that market knowledge and I know I can buy this for 60, it's game on. Or if not, I click in, and now I really start to dissect the listing and pick it apart to kind of see what I can do with it, right? Of course, we're still at that 100. We see it sells about 100 times a month. We see the competition's probably around like 10 to 20-ish, right? So not super concerning, but a very consistent buy box. And so, again, we would need to be buying this somewhere around 50 in order to make it work for our kind of shoe business, right? Obviously, we want margins to be a little bit higher because of the threat of returns and all those sorts of things. And so now we're just back to the normal practice of reverse sourcing. However, kind of you best find and match those products to a site, this is where you would really hone in on that skill. But again, the real value of using this tool is to consolidate a whole lot of information given a particular characteristic, a particular niche, right? Maybe you want to source more Adidas or Under Armour or insert brand X, whatever brand you want to be interested in, whatever brand you want to reverse source from. All you're going to do is adjust this filter, right? So obviously we did Nike. If we wanted to do Adidas, it works the same way. And now we have 83 sellers that sell primarily Adidas. And we can continue to dig into all these sorts of sellers. Again, we can export this, right? So maybe we want to store all this information. Remember, these are links. So if we export this, we can save it to a Google document and have all these links at our disposal. So we don't have to re-execute this search and this filter. We could also do, right, maybe I want to avoid any sellers that have over 1,000 listings because they're probably too much for us, right? So we want to do less than or equal to, maybe we want to do 500, cap it at 500 max, bang. So now we have 25 sellers, all with under 500 reviews or under 500 listings. A lot of them have, thousands and thousands of reviews, right? Maybe you want to filter out anyone that's over 10,000 reviews. We can do that as well. And so now we have a short list of about 19 sellers, all with less than 10,000 reviews, all with less than 500 products, and now we're in business, right? We have one seller that has 197 products. Beauty care is actually their dominant category, but we could see 49, 50, 49. Tons and hundreds of Adidas listings on this particular page, of course, digging into each individual storefront that are going to kind of really exponentiate the sourcing that you're doing given a particular brand. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, share it to a friend that is also interested in Amazon, and we will catch you in the next one.